Hey everyone, it's Joy here for Honeybee Stamps. Today I created an all-white die-cut card, which is something I've wanted to do for quite a while, and every time I try to do it, I would add color to it somehow. But today I did not. So I've die-cut my flowers from the Lovely Layers Wildflowers. I am using the Quatrefoil base and top die, so I'm die-cutting that base here, and I'm going to die-cut the top die. Again, everything is from white cardstock. I feel like this is it's really beautiful, like really, really beautiful. But at the same time, I was a little scared because I felt like, is it enough? But honestly, with all of the textures that I'm adding, it turned out fantastic. I'm also using the cutting board die. I did bring that in, and I love that because that has a lot of texture to it as well. Like I said, I think that's what's going to make this card stand out, even though it's just all white. I don't know that you could get away with it if you didn't have enough texture. So then I die cut the Quatrefoil top part here so we can adhere that together. So you have the die cut top part and then you have the pierced base part. This is one of my most favorite dies, like base dies for your card. So I'm going to glue that top one to the bottom one. And then I can set that aside, and then we can adhere these Lovely Layers Wildflowers. And I love the Lovely Layers whole series, collection, whatever you want to call it. But I will say that these are really simple to put together. There's not a ton of layers, like some of the other cards have tons of layers, which I personally love. These do not have a ton of layers, but they are so perfect, and this was such a great size to use on this card. So I'm just going to adhere those layers together for you real quick. This flower here just has two center pieces, and I just think the shapes of these flowers are just so beautiful. The leaves and everything are stunning. And as I was sitting here the whole time, I'm like, should I add color? No, just go with what you thought. And then I kept going, should I add more color? Should I add some color? Because these flowers are so beautiful and they'll be so beautifully colored. But I was glad I kept everything white. I do think this also would be absolutely stunning in black or a really deep dark blue or green. I think it would just be beyond gorgeous. So I feel like you could get away with cards like this solid for anniversaries or weddings. This would be actually a great wedding card, I think, because it's just all white. Okay, I'm going to add foam tape behind the cutting board die, just kind of have that on a slant, and then we can adhere these flowers to it. And the back flower will be glued directly to the board, and then the other two will be popped up with some foam tape and just kind of overlaying each other like you would if you're holding a bouquet of flowers. So a little bit of that liquid glue. Now, I also was debating on how I wanted to do the sentiment. Did I want to do black? Did I want to do gold embossing? You know, how did I want to go down with that? Could I do a color? And I actually did gold embossing because I felt like it would keep true to the white background. I felt like black or a color would be too stark of a contrast for this card. So I did some gold heat embossing. And then I added some fun little things at the end. So definitely hang around to watch that because I feel like these little things at the last part of the video, I don't know, I felt like it just kind of brought it to life a little more. All right, let's finish with some foam tape on this little set of flowers here. And you could trim the excess that's hanging off the side. I did not. I mean, you could obviously because it needs to fit into a A2 size envelope, but you could always put it in a bigger envelope if you didn't want to trim off the excess. I didn't feel like that this time. Most of the time I do, but then there's times I really like that kind of stuff hanging off the edge of the card. I'm going to add a little bit more foam tape under that piece here. And then the sentiment that I'm using is from the Life is Gouda stamp set, which kind of goes along with that cutting board because there's a really cute stamp set that has the cheese and the fruits and the vegetables and everything like that you would have like on a charcuterie board. That's what it's called, charcuterie board. Okay, so I'm using Honeybee Stamps clear embossing ink. I did prep that with an anti-static powder tool. I'm going to sprinkle on my gold embossing powder, and I do have my heat tool nice and heated so it does not warp the paper as much. And I'm going to melt that and then use the coordinating die for this sentiment, which I absolutely love. And I can die cut this out. And it took me a second to find it, but really if you just kind of look at the layout, it's really, really quick. I will just use some low tack tape to put that in place and then run that through my die cut machine. Let's add a little foam tape behind that because we know I love my sentiments with foam tape behind it. I just cannot help myself. But see how pretty that is, and see how it does not take away from like that all white design. Like it just totally blends in. So it says, let's get together soon. I just thought that was really, really cute. And then I'm finishing it off with just some small dewdrops that does not take away from the background, but really kind of brings it to life with that bright, with that just, I don't know, it feels bright to me, I think because it's clear. But look at all of the texture on this card. And the layers and the dimension. It is so, so pretty. So I dare you to try it. It was hard to do at first, but absolutely stunning. So thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. Everything I used is listed and linked below, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.